everybody and welcome back to the last episode of this playthrough. Now, before we wrap this up, just wanted to showcase a few of the late game technologies that we haven't gotten a chance to see in this series. And in order to do that, I've actually spent a bit of time off camera, and also I've went into editor mode just to fast track a couple of things. And the things that I will want to show are Kovarex enrichment, tanks, personal lasers, Spidertrons, and the atomic bomb. And also the artillery. So let's get started with Kovarex enrichment process. So by default, the amount of uranium that's being produced is uranium-235 is not all that great, and it can barely sustain our 2 nuclear reactors. And the long-term way to produce nuclear fuel is by researching Kovarex enrichment and basically converting at a very slow rate, but still better than the default rate, converting. Basically what this recipe does is it converts 3 uranium-238 into 1 uranium-235. Because we are putting in 40-235, we're getting out 41-235, so that's a net difference of 1. And we're putting in 5 uranium-238 and we're getting out 2 uranium-238. So with that in mind, let's look at how we can set this up. So now, first of all, imagine this going up, always going up. And basically the way this is gonna behave is we'll have an inner belt of, so if we want to scale going up, I mean, we have a belt of uranium-235 that's always gonna prioritize the inner belt, and we're gonna output the excess into a provider chest. So let's go ahead and do that. And well, basically here we have this side that's outputting and this side that is inputting. And we will have the outer belt of 238. And the principle is relatively similar. with just one small twist, that is. So basically on the outside we'll always have uranium-238, and this inner belt is going to be a belt that's going to be producing more and more items. The outer belt is going to be a belt that's going to be draining. So we cannot just have an infinite loop. We need to have a source to feed the excess that we're getting. And in order to do that, one quick thing that I want to show here is the alarm system that Factorio has in place. So basically we can produce this item, programmable speaker, and basically what I've done here is I've told him that when there's less than 5 235 in this chest, play this sound and show a global alert. So that's as simple as it gets. But as I was saying, we want to add the uranium-238 from an external source. And we also want to add in the chain, in the production chain, we could look at adding in the production chain the uranium-238, 235 that we're producing from here, but theoretically we don't need to because this is going to be a self-sustainable loop. So in order to add uranium-238, what we can do is we can have a splitter here, and basically this is, before I put items onto the belt, I want to make sure that it goes on the right side. So this goes on the outside, this will output on the outside. It's fairly important to always output on the correct side of the belt. And what we're gonna do here, I'm thinking what's the easiest way to do that. Probably like this. So this will feed on the outside, and here we're gonna make sure that everything will always be on the outside of the belt. The inserters will output on the outside as well. Will output on the outside, so I don't think that this... let me recheck this. Okay, so we do not want this scenario. We want the actual ore to be on the inside of the belt, because we want the inserters to always be able to output. And let's change this around. So we want to do it like this. Now what this will do is, and kind of one very important thing here is, we need to make sure that we do not overfeed. We never manually feed uranium-238 into these inserters, because we want them to always be able to get more from the belt. And I will try to speed this up just a bit. And basically this setup, when you want to put more, you can just copy paste and put more above. But well, we're gonna see pretty soon that, and again, at the beginning, we'll probably want to have it like this. We never want. Okay, please ignore me. I have totally forgotten how inserters work, and the fact that this will actually need to behave. So we will need filter inserters here. And we'll have this inserter filtering on 238, this inserter filtering on, sorry, 235 the bottom one, 238 the top one. And we're gonna have the belt come on closer here because we do not have long-handed filter inserters. And basically the factory above will just mirror this. So we'll have another inserter here outputting, and then we'll have another filter at the top here. And on this side, it doesn't really matter. I also want to catch that 238 that was put on the inner belt. And here we can see that once the product is finished, we've started with 30 in our spare. And we should end up with 31. So we've just produced one additional ore, and if we look closely at what's gonna happen next, so the 3 additional, I forgot to properly configure something. We need input priority on this side of the belt. So basically we'll only feed from here once there's nothing here to overflow. And as you can see, we've gotten the ore outputted here. We still have, I think I might have hand fed this because this should never take that many pieces of iron ore, of uranium to 38. It should remain at 10 always. So when we do this, as you can see, it takes in, it gets the excess, and whatever gaps it has at this point, it will always get back in. So the main thing is that whatever overflow we have from here, it will always get prioritized back into the inner belt. And that is Kovarex enrichment. Now for the next thing I will let's get, I cannot get all the contents of the a bit annoying that I cannot auto trash this right now. Anyway, let's clear my inventory a bit. I do want to take a few more shells with me. So let's showcase in no particular order. Let's go and find some biter nests. We have some bigger biter nests at the bottom here, so that's where we're gonna go. Next thing on the menu is going to be the Spidertron. So this is basically our final transportation vehicle that has quite a few other things. So with this guy will have a fairly limited grid, and the way I generally like, you can have them dual purposed. When you're doing mega bases or when you're doing Death World, the Spidertron can be set to patrol, so you can have this as a mobile repair post, and you can put a couple of roboports, or we can set it up with, where is it? This. So oh, okay, we have just basic energy shields, and I will craft a few of them. So basically, the Spidertron will have energy shields. We could give it one pair of legs. We could even do this type of setup and then put a few energy shields here. Basically, this will act as our defense. And we can just jump straight into it as we would do with normal car. We don't need to provide any fuel. Um, where I got stuck at earlier was the fact that I haven't researched this thing, which is usually have it researched by kind of default. And there's a couple of things that I want to showcase with the Spidertron. So first of all, it's just the Spidertron's sheer firepower. And I will let it auto-target with and without gunner. So as you can see, that base was just annihilated. It's quite fun. And imagine that you can also have either other Spidertrons follow you, which makes this all that much more OP, I think. But now comes the even better strategy, I think. So this Spidertron will act as a mid shield, and basically what I can do is have personal laser defenses fill up my grid. I did upgrade to personal armor MK2, and let's tell the Spidertron to not auto-target, because again I think that this is even more impressive. The personal laser defenses are just smashing through these bases. We are getting slowed down by the thing that the worms shoot. But even so, I think that, well, they're no match for our personal laser defenses. And you can see that I'm barely draining the batteries. I did put up a few more batteries in my backpack. So you want to have a few spare batteries because the lasers are gonna drain even more than two of these portable fusion reactors can handle. But well, as you can see here, I'm in the middle of the base. Yes, they are damaging me a bit, and these are just medium worms. But generally speaking, when you want to push large bases, you never want to go straight in the middle of the base. You always want to circle around the perimeter. so that you never actually get fully. And you want to go like always change directions to avoid the bulk of the projectiles. But yeah, this is it for the Spidertron and for personal laser defenses. I think I forgot to pick up the tank. So I will finally show off the artillery turrets. So as you can see, these guys have a huge range, and this is level 1. There's technology to actually increase the range on this. They will not fire in this area here, but they're just annihilating everything in their path. And with a few researches, their areas will just grow uh, more and more. Now, it will call our friendly neighbors to the source of the attacks, so we have to be careful of that. But, well, not that big of a deal. We are out of bullets, but yeah, the last thing I wanted to showcase, let's not completely ignore our defenses, but this is the nuke. So it goes there and it wipes out a pretty huge area. Like, it's a very effective way of pushing large sections of enemy bases. Obviously not recommended for just one biter base, but yeah, it demolishes everything in its path as well. And with that being said, I thank you all very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this series as much as I have enjoyed playing it, and I am planning on starting a new Factorio series. Still haven't decided on the flavor of that series, but yeah, keep an eye out on the channel. If you're interested, consider subscribing to the channel, and I will see you here again next time. Until then, have a great day.